So the whole idea behind this is really similar to segment addition postulate. So you have this large angle made up of two smaller angles. So here's the whole angle, and then this is the first part, and this is the second part. So if I wanted to find that whole yellow angle, I would need to add these two smaller pieces together. So 32 plus 41 is going to be 73. So the main idea when we want to write this out would be that part 1, so the smaller part, plus part 2, the second small piece. When you add those together, it's going to equal the whole angle. Typically, though, we don't see the formula written as part 1 plus part 2 equals the whole angle. They name it using angle names, and we're going to name these angles with 3 letters. So if I highlight part 1, you can see that I started at B, I went to A, and then I went to D, so we could call that angle BAD. Then the second angle, which I'm going to highlight in blue, is D, then A, then C. So plus that second part, D, A, C, equals the entire thing, which I'm going to highlight in green here, and that would be B, A, C. These next couple examples say, what is the measure of angle QRS? So if you look, QRS, that's going to be this entire angle. So I want the whole thing, which means I need to add these two parts together. So 63 plus 44 is 107. For the second example, it says if the measure of QRS is 123, so QRS, that's the entire angle. So if this whole thing is 123, and I'm trying to find QRT, which is right here, I would need to take 123 minus the part I know, which is 35, which is 88 degrees. Just like when we were doing these problems with segment addition, we're going to do like the same idea. So we're going to take each little piece, so part 1, which I highlighted in red, plus part 2, which I highlighted in blue, and it's going to equal the whole angle, which they tell us right here. So ABC is 94. So part 1, 3x plus 15, plus part 2, x plus 7, equals the whole angle, which is 94. When we start, we're going to combine like terms, so that's 3x plus x, so that would get me 4x, and then 15 plus 7 is 22, and that equals 94. Subtract 22 from both sides. 4x equals 72. Divide by 4. X equals 18. For this next example, it starts the same way. So part 1 plus part 2 equals the whole thing, which this is a typo now that I'm looking at it. It should say QRS, sorry about that, is 135, so this is 135. So again, we're going to combine like terms. So positive 1 minus 6 is going to be negative 5. Add 5 to both sides. 5x equals 140. And then divide by 5. So x is 28. This problem, however, has an additional part to it where it says find the measure of QRT. So QRT is this angle here. So it's the 3x plus 1 equation. So we are going to take that equation and we are going to plug 28 in for x. So 3 times 28 plus 1, which is 85 degrees. And that would be the final answer. On this next example, we just need to make sure we read carefully because everything is not filled in for us. So the very first part says the measure of HGF. So if you look, HGF is the entire angle. So the entire angle is going to be 16x plus 4. Then it tells us that EGF, so EGF, so this angle here is 110. So that means my last angle is 3x plus 11. So just make sure you pay close attention when you are solving. And now go ahead and solve this one. For our last example, it says set up the equation you would use to solve for x. And at this point, hopefully you know that we're taking this red part, which we typically call part 1, and we're adding it to the blue part, which we call part 2. But this time, there is no total shown. So it's not shown in the problem, it's not in the writing prompt, but we do know, hopefully, that straight angles, so this whole angle here, have to add up to be 180. So the total here is going to be 180 degrees.